Hey guys, welcome to our review of Mashin Sentai Kiramager, episode 43. As always, I'm your host, the Frozen Stratos. Here with me today we have...
Cinder Blaze.
Aresol.
Hey dudes, welcome back. On today's episode, we finished up watching this episode yesterday so that you guys could comment it, and we could comment on those comments in this review. But before that, let's just dive into our thoughts. And I thought, man, it's getting good. Oh, this is getting good, and very Star Warsy.
Yeah.
But it's fine. Like I've said this on multiple occasions, but like Judo is a really strong Red Ranger, and takes up like as much room as necessary in the plot. And like right now, it's really nice getting a lot of him because like there's some episodes where he just doesn't do too much. And it's nice, like, leaning in on his thing of finding the redeeming qualities of people. And it was on full display with Garza, and I loved it.
Yeah. I like it. I mean, for me, I think that was one of, like, the weaker parts of this episode, just because the whole reveal with Garza just ended up being what it was. But before we kind of, like, get into that, just... yeah, I guess like him kind of like taking charge a little bit more in this episode really kind of like helped, because like he was basically the one of the like the central points kind of connecting the Kiramagers to Garza. So like of course, like when Garza like freaking sees him and, like trying to save like Orden, and just like pissing him off, and he just kind of takes him to that different dimension to have that 1v1 showdown. Like all of that like felt really good because we could feel Garza's rage throughout like the past few episodes, just kind of like building. And once they're just kind of like in that 1v1, Drew is kind of like out of it at that point. Like he's just been like learning about Garza, and he's like, oh my God. And the 5 minutes right before he shows up. But he's just like, man, I don't want to fight you, you're so cool. And I'm pretty sure like Garza hasn't really heard that, because he's kind of thinking in his head like everyone thinks Orden's the best and shit like that. But then he just starts thinking about it, and he's like, wait a minute, nah, no. Oh. Man. What do you guys think about that?
Which part?
Like, just, I guess you can continue on your thought.
Okay. When I was rewatching it today, and I was thinking about when Drew's like, oh man, you're so cool, this is the coolest thing I've ever seen. I was thinking how like we've had other Reds who like have catchphrases or like to like yell about how awesome something is or whatever. I feel like it's really endearing here because I like Drew.
Yeah.
Like, and he doesn't, it's not like he goes off and does this all the time with his enemies. We kind of saw it with Crunchula, but he was a cat at the time. So like it's not like he runs into battle, looks at an enemy, and goes, "That's awesome!" like all the time. It's a very special occurrence when it happened here, and I don't know. I like that.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
What do we think about the reveal, though? Because Alex, you've already expressed your discontent with he was just turned evil real long time ago, and he just forgot.
It kind of like kneecapped the whole build up with Red this episode, because we thought like he was the one to like really put that change in him. But it kind of like turns out that like Garza was good the entire time. He was just forcibly mind controlled by Emperor Yodon. And I guess like Red did kind of help him break through that mind control, but it didn't, like, I kind of wish that there was like a genuine reason for him to kind of like turn to this path of like cow mentality and stuff, and for him to like actually kind of make Garza actually change his like ways, instead of just like removing the brainwashing and just kind of him.
Yeah, I do kind of wish it wasn't like a matter of, oh, his memories were erased or twisted. Because he obviously still had the creativity.
Right.
Because he made himself look a certain way. He had all of his moves still. And I do think it would have been neat if there was more of a legitimate reason why he like started to feel inferior. You could, I mean, that's kind of been the case the entire time. We all know that he thinks he's inferior to his brother. Like it's his own ego getting in the way.
Mhm.
But, like I was kind of hoping for something like that. Um, I get why they would resort to the mind control thing since we only have a couple episodes left, but
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean,
having
like,
it be more fleshed out would have been nice.
yeah. Was it like full on mind control though? I feel like it was more a situation where, you know,
He
the
twisted his
emperor,
emotions around.
or yeah, like he changed a fundamental part of who he was, and I feel like, you know, it kind of it kind of reminds me of uh if you currently like really dislike a person, but like for something a long time ago, and you've completely forgotten what it was. You just have this discontent toward them, um, and then to suddenly be like, oh wait, hold on, I like this guy actually. Um, I feel like it might be more of an interpretation of that sort of thing. I guess I don't know.
No,
No.
literally, he just Yodon shows up in his room, goes bah, and he just like looks at his drawing and he's like, "I hate everything." Just, that was the explanation, and we're just kind of like rolling with it.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was fine because like after a while, the hate eventually, if he's been there for so long, if they've been alive for so long, the hate eventually becomes his, I guess. And then, structurally, if, you he found it was unfounded, it's up to him to fix and rebuild that. So at least that's rather interesting. Like, if even if it was, he was persuaded into it, he still held those feelings. So like, he might still have to be responsible for them.
Yeah, but we're not gonna have that. I feel like they just kind of wanted to end this whole thing really fast, even though I think this is the one thing that this show was kind of building towards from the very beginning, like this whole duality of like Red and Garza just kind of being rivals, and we knew they were ultimately going to clash at the very end,
Mm-hmm.
and for it to kind of like end like this, just like man, like if you could just like let Red kind of like land that like less emotional hit on
Mm-hmm.
Garza, like and like actually like dig through and like actually
Sure.
hit like the core of his character, that would have been like amazing. But
Mm-hmm.
seems like with like the time constraints, they just had to like you know what, he was just like mind controlled, like you help him break through his own mind control, so he does give Red some points there, but uh, I felt like it could have just punched so much harder and just been like I just like my expectations were like a little bit higher than what we got. Now that's
Fair.
kind of why I'm kind of like disappointed.
That's no, that's fair because like Kira Major has I don't want to say broken the formula, but like bent it around so many times where you know you sort of expect a little bit more out of it when it comes to the end. But I felt like this was, I don't know, I enjoyed it for what it was. Like I didn't need the spectacular reveal for it to be good for me. I still like really enjoyed it. Um, Also, I don't
Yeah,
I don't think Garza's dead.
I think
What?
at the very least he might come back with the Granter Stones.
Something,
Um,
yeah,
Oh yeah,
but yeah,
permanently dead? No.
yeah,
Dead right now? Yeah, he got exploded real
fair,
bad.
yeah.
and yeah, I will say like obviously we maybe felt a little bit of a letdown with it just being mind control or whatever, but that doesn't take away from the fact that it's just a really good episode, like
Hmm.
a really solid build leading into I think our last two episodes.
Yeah,
Um,
man, two
and
more.
yeah, unfortunately because of that, like we're getting a lot more serialized with these last few.
Hmm.
So the story's not like condensed one and done stories. So it's hard to talk about like everything
Yeah,
because it hasn't concluded.
yeah, I
Um,
agree.
But I thought there were some cool moments. I thought there were some goofy moments, like Orion running in place.
On a strange treadmill powered by a
Yeah.
dude breathing.
Yeah, like I actually did like that because it provides some context as to why Garza wasn't really stepping up when Crunchla was putting out those really stupid villains. Because if that's the shit that Garza thinks of, then of course he probably thinks Crunchla is a genius.
I
So I was totally fine.
I
with
do
that.
like, and we touched on this a little bit in the watch along, but I do like the idea that Crunchula and Garza get along much in the same way that Crunchula and Judo get along. Like you can see those threads there, and Crunchula able to trust him. So they're just for me at this point. Kiramager is more about the characters and how much work they're doing with the characters and how much I like them. And this episode just helped that out a
Yeah,
lot immensely.
yeah. Hopefully it
Um,
doesn't fall off a cliff like
hopefully.
Drew did.
I hope they land it. I'm hoping they land it.
Yeah, I feel like it's gonna be very hard for them to mess this up. They have
It's
like a
true.
lot of
Yeah.
things going for them.
Like the show is very straightforward, but I don't know. There's something about the simplicity that I really like.
Yeah,
All right. Want to head into some comments?
sure.
All right. The one and only comment comes from K John. He says the way that Garza had a change of heart so quickly felt weird and forced at first, but then we got to see Yodon Emperor altered his memory, so it all makes sense. Garza's voice actor did a really good job conveying his emotions. I'm pretty sure he's not completely dead yet. He probably transferred his mind to somewhere else, the same way Oradan did. My problem with this episode is how Judy keeps getting excited at everything Garza does. I guess it fits his character, but doesn't fit the situation they're in at all. I disagree.
Yeah, I think him getting excited at everything is part of what got through.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
And I think one thing that really helped was like, um, when he saw the signature move, he saw it like as if Orden was doing it in the first place. So he already kind of thought like it was like, oh, cool, like Orden thought of this, and he already has like this kind of affection for the king. So like, I already kind of like lowered his guard for like, loving like the move. And when Garza's the one that does it, it just kind of completely, changes things around in his
Yeah.
head. Like, well, if he's the one doing it, well, shit, like that's pretty cool too. Because like Garza's been doing like some creative ass shit the entire way through, but I guess because he was doing like a lot of evil things, he's not really like appreciating it as much. But like he kind of like saw like that attack in his vision. He was kind of like mentally prepared for it. He's like, all right, Orden's gonna do it. And when he doesn't do it, he does something like basic. He's like,
oh, you're talking
all
about
right.
2 episodes ago.
Yeah, 2 episodes ago, like when they're doing like the
Mhm.
screw attack, whatever. And then when Garza's kind of like doing it now, it's just like, okay. I guess like that's pretty cool. And then he like starts like looking at his form, is like, that's cool. I guess he's got something going on here.
Like it's his unrelenting naivety. Naivete. How do you pronounce that in this situation?
Okay.
Tay. I don't know. It's handled so well, and every time I see it in motion, like it always just works for me, and I'm always happy that it does, because like it's something that Sentai rarely lands. So maybe there's that added effect of like, wow, you're really doing it really well, and I'm very proud of you. That's good. Um, anyway, do you guys have anything else before we got the hell out of here?
No, I'm good.
All right, cool. So, guys, thank you so much for your comments, and thank you so much for watching. If you liked this episode, hit the like button and subscribe if you want to hear more from us each week. Tell us in the comments down below what you thought about, our thoughts about, your thoughts about this episode. And then also, while you're down there, there are links to how you can help support the Black Lives Matter movement by donating money, signing petitions, and watching videos. Thanks so much for watching. Keep it.
Bye.
All right. Oh, we did get a comment for Saber, by the way.
We did. Oh.
Yes, and Yao.
Oh, sweet. Got it just in time.
Not really. It was
Yeah, I
11
guess
minutes
you're right,
ago,
it
and
is.
it's 10:36.
That's true, yeah. He's lucky.
Yeah.